Hi, I'm Lavi, and I'm the Product Director of Electronic Queuing. Today we're going to talk about our Qtrac IQ product. Now most of our customers know our Qtrac IQ product by our classic Lavi Industries stanchion, but modified to host a sensor inside. Now before we go into the solution itself, let's talk about the very simple hardware components which service this very simple solution. So let's start here first. This is what we call a COR PC. All of the information gathered by our Qtrac IQ sensor is delivered to this COR PC, where all of the magic of our software is translating that data into usable information and dashboards which our customers use to become more efficient. The second component is this COR Antenna. What this COR Antenna does is it sits within a general range of all of our Qtrac IQ sensors, and it aggregates all the information being delivered by those various sensors, puts it together into a nice block, and delivers all that information to the COR PC where the software resides. Now let's talk about the Qtrac IQ sensor. Now what you'll notice here is all of the components of this solution are inside this very sensor. That includes power, which are lithium batteries, which last anywhere from 12 to 14 months, and an infrared sensor. Now let's talk about this infrared sensor for a moment. The infrared sensor actually has two beams projecting outwards approximately 1.2 meters. Think of it almost as two baseball bats extending this way. Now the importance of these two baseball bat sensors is that when I trip each sensor sequentially, not only can I count passengers or customers flowing through this queue, I can also determine direction and speed. These two elements of direction and speed are very, very crucial in letting the algorithm understand the throughput of passengers and potentially correct for discrepancies between sensors. Now, you'll notice here that we have a magnetic plate on the floor. The importance of this magnetic plate is it's used to, number one, secure the perimeter of the queue with our magnetic plate stanchions, and we'll speak about the reasoning for that in just a moment. And it's also used to secure the position of the Qtrac IQ sensors. Now the way that works is a double back adhesive is placed on the bottom of this magnetic plate, and this plate is then fastened to the ground. Now you'll notice that this Qtrac IQ stanchion has a magnetic base. Once this plate is fastened to the ground and dries after 6 hours, these sensors are then placed directly on the magnetic plate and fastened with approximately 30 pounds of force, meaning they're very, very secure and stable, but they are easy to move in the case that cleaning crew needs to come and clean the general area. So now let's talk about the general solution, how it works. Now, some of our queues are very, very simple. They're simply linear, as you may imagine a queue in your mind. Other queuing solutions are far more complex. Many queuing solutions are actually a grid of stanchions, which throughout the day service different varying queue configurations depending on the hour. So I took the liberty of showing you an example of a more complex queue. Now if you look at this key, the black dots represent normal stanchions. The green dots represent normal stanchions with magnetic bases. And the red dots represent the Qtrac IQ sensor stanchions, which of course also have magnetic bases. So let's take a look at this grid. This grid may represent a very large queue that at different portions of the day have different smaller queues flowing through it. Now the way our software understands how to service all those varying configurations throughout the day is, number one, securing the perimeter of the queue using normal magnetic stanchions. Now what that does is we let the system know, the algorithm, what are the distances and dimensions of this total queuing area. Now once the algorithm understands that, it's very simple to program where our red sensors should go in order to service the various queues. Now, the importance of all this again, we like to deliver our customers flexibility to clean the area and to do it as frequently as they like and not have the algorithm be confused. So the importance of having magnetic plates where these green stanchions reside at the perimeter and where these sensor posts are is that once all of this is removed, when it goes back, it's very easy for the cleaning crew to know where everything sits back into place. And again, once these dimensions are configured to the algorithm and the location of the sensors, the software by itself knows how to service and deliver very accurate data for the varying configurations of your queue throughout the day with any challenge that you may deliver our team. Now, all of this is possible with just these very simple components of hardware. That's why Lavi Industries takes a lot of pride in our Qtrac IQ solution. Simple hardware, non-invasive, and very accurate data for very complex queuing problems. Thank you.